everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm having a bit of a let's chat. Maybe I'll call it let's chat. Let's call it let's chat. And I'm gonna chat kind of about how I found my passion for makeup and my passion for creativity. I am actually, I grew up not being artistic whatsoever. I played music when I had a year of piano lessons, a year of voice lessons, a year of trumpet lessons, and I played trumpet in my high school band. But I really never found the passion I had for music. It wasn't something I was super into. But yeah, it was really rough for me to try and find my creativity and try to find my passion for creativity until I was about, I think, 15 or 16 years old. And kind of like my creativity was a bit stifled before then. I never could draw when I was in art class. I never succeeded in art class because I had no artistic, I felt like I had no artistic talent in any way, shape, or form. And it wasn't something I was, super interested in. I never got into makeup till I was in college. And even then it was like mascara, 2 colors of eyeshadow, lip gloss. That was it. I never put foundation on. I never did any of that stuff till I was really deep into college. But yeah, it took me a long time, and I kind of like wanted to chat with you about my journey to finding my passion and my creativity. So we're gonna start, I guess, and like to help you find it, that you can be unconventional in the way you find your creativity and to explore everything, and you never know what kind of creative stuff you're gonna discover and start to love. So when I was 16, I actually started getting into video games. I bought a PlayStation 2 with some Christmas gift money I received, I think. And I started getting into specifically RPGs. Final Fantasy was my first game I ever purchased, was Final Fantasy 8 and 10. And I got a PlayStation 2 and I started playing them, and I really started, researching it and kind of getting to know the characters and played them. And it was really something that I really enjoyed to do, but I still felt like it wasn't my passion. And then I found out that in Calgary, where I was living in high school, they have conventions. And I wasn't into comic books or anything like that. Comics are not my jam. But I was really into these Japanese RPG video games. So I kind of found out actually that in beginning of grade 11, I think it was, that I discovered the convention circuit, I guess, in Calgary, specifically Otafest, and this was in 2004. Yeah, grade 11. I graduated in 2005. Grade 11, I discovered it in 2004. I discovered conventions, and I found out about cosplay. And for cosplay, like, I really got into it immediately. Like, it was something I was like, holy smokes, like I can dress up like my favorite character and people will recognize me. This is gonna be so much fun. So my first costume ever was Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, because I had a big cartoon crush on him. When you're small, you have crushes on cartoon characters. Yeah, he was my crush in high school. Loved Squall, he was great. And the first costume I didn't make it, I assembled it. I went to Valley Village and I bought like a leather jacket, some fake leather pants. I had boots that I bought that I wore all year anyways, and a white t-shirt. And my mom found a thing of white fur and she sewed it onto my jacket to make me look like Squall. And then I just did up my hair. I didn't have a wig, did up my hair, just drew with like eyeliner across my face to give him the scar. And I went with a bunch of friends of mine who I kind of convinced to go with me. And we had a blast. Like, it was like cheap costumes. We did like a cosplay skit thing for the contest. It was amazing. We had such a good time. And I came back home and I was like, oh, I have to wait a year for the next one, a year. And at that point I decided, I was like, you know what, next year I want to make my own. And so that kind of ignited a bit of the passion for creativity for cosplay into me and costume design and stuff like that. So the next year I did 2005. I did Pain from Final Fantasy X-2. I loved that game, and I know it's like the most horrible Final Fantasy game, but it was a game that I really enjoyed. It didn't involve grinding. It was kind of a nice, straightforward game. I hate grinding, by the way. Grinding in video games sucks. I hate it. But I found like all the costumes that all the girls had were beautiful, and it was if you were able to take what costume you wanted out of any of their dress spheres that they had and be that. So I decided I wanted to be Warrior Pain. So yeah, my mom helped me a lot. Let's just say we spray painted some googly eyes. I did research on how to do the studs, her studs on the shawl she wears. I Googled that, found out about spray painting googly eyes to glue onto metal studs, and then, you know, a lot of mistakes along the way. I discovered that you need a lining when dealing with studs or you're gonna cut up your arms. I had my arms were bleeding by the end of the day. But I hand studded about 200 studs onto that shawl, and it looked phenomenal. It looked beautiful. We learned the dance from the opening of the game. It was awesome. We had such a good time. We didn't win anything, but that year I got really competitive, and I shouldn't have, and it was not very good. But it was something that, like, you know, I did with friends of mine, and we all kind of shared the passion for it. Like, I went there with two friends, one of which was Songstress Luna, and another one was Thief Riku, and my grandmother knit her a scarf. Like, it was kind of that family deal, and, you know, that year really got me into it. The next year we went as Sailor Moon characters, Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars characters. I should say I was Sailor Starfighter. We did a hilarious skit of a dance called Yatta, which was huge in like 2000s, about these guys who were literally only wearing like white underwear with a leaf over their fronts. It was really strange Japanese video, and we kind of learned the dance and did the dance and stripped my friend and I, who were the Sailor Stars, like had the actual costumes underneath too, with the tearaway pants and tearaway shirt and everything, and it went over super well. We actually won that year, and it was so much fun. We had such a blast. After that, I moved here because I met Tyler. I spent another year in school, and then I moved here, so I really didn't have a lot of money when I moved here, and I didn't know there was this convention here. I didn't look into it. I was just too focused on school, too focused on my new relationship with Tyler at that time. This was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago. And I kind of like let it fall by the wayside, and I found that, like, you know, I felt it took me a good few years, but once I started working where I'm working right now in an archives, working in digital stuff, I kind of felt like I was stagnating. I was coming home, falling asleep on the couch watching TV. I didn't really have a lot of hobbies. It wasn't something I was super interested in. And I kind of lost that passion for a while. And I realized, I think 4 years ago, how much I missed it. And 4 years ago, I started again, and I said to Tyler went to the Sci-Fi on the Rock convention here in Newfoundland and wound up enjoying it and coming home and telling me about it. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go unless I'm in costume, because I find when you're in costume you have a lot more fun. He didn't believe me till he came in costume one year, and he's like, I see what you mean. So then that year I decided to try and get into making my own costumes again. I didn't have a sewing machine, so I borrowed my friends, and I made Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. Made him from start to finish. I hand beaded a bunch of stuff. It was beautiful, and then that kind of reignited the spark in me at 26 years old to get back into cosplay, which I have, and actually that's progressed into my first cosplay photo shoot I did a couple weeks ago. I can leave a photo right here. I was Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame, and you know, I even sourced a location for us in a Gothic church here in the city, and it looked gorgeous, and we had a blast, and it was totally something I want to do again, and it was beautiful. As for makeup, I really got into makeup, I think 2 years ago, right, like about 6 months or a year before I started my YouTube channel. I really got into skincare and makeup and like what different looks you can have. Before that, I only had like one palette, and it was the Ammo palette from Urban Decay, where they've paired the shadows up for you, and that's all I used. I used two shadows on my eyes, and literally mascara and a lip gloss most of the time. Not a lot of no lipsticks, nothing like that. And in the past 2 years, I've really ignited a passion for figuring out looks. And then in the past like month or two, I've really kind of said, you know, I want to start doing these looks on Instagram. So I really started gearing up into Instagram in the past couple months to kind of get it done. And it took me a long time to figure out that I had a passion for this and I want to do it. And YouTube was something I was thinking about for a couple months before I actually did it. Again, borrowed a camera from a friend, had no lights, nothing like that. And like after I found out like I really enjoyed doing it, we bought our lights. You know, we kind of bought a camera this past summer in Calgary, bought a tripod. Like we dealt with it the way we would discover it. So now Tyler is into cosplay with me. We cosplay together. We have a Facebook page where we're kind of showing you works in progress as well as finished looks and kind of showcasing what we do. He does all armor work, prop work, stuff like that, and I do all the sewing. So if you want to check that out, I can leave the link to our cosplay page down in the description box down below. And yeah, and I guess the whole point of this let's chat is to kind of explain to you that sometimes it can take you a long time to find your passion and find your creativity. And, you know, sometimes you'll find it and lose it and you just got to rediscover it. And I think that if you find that you're stagnating, sometimes it helps to go back to what you were before, like what you were into in high school or what you were into in college, and kind of re-explore it and see if you really enjoy it. And I found my joy in cosplay again at 26 when I thought I lost it at 19. So it was kind of that beautiful, really nice serendipitous thing that kind of came together in my mid-20s. And I've done it for 4 years now and I love it. And my costuming has gotten a lot better. I'm getting a lot of compliments on them. You know, I've started getting more and more complicated. And I won my first contest back at Avalon Expo this past August, and for Katniss. I did a Katniss wedding dress from Catching Fire with the transformation, and I'll also leave a link to a video of that down in the description box as well, so you can check it out. But that is it for my Let's Chat, my first Let's Chat video. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up down below, and if you have any other topics you want to chat about, just leave them down in the comment section as well, and I'll be sure to have a look and talk about them at a later time. Also, if you want to see more content from me, don't forget to hit the little red subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I post new content, don't forget to hit the little bell next to it. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.